All right, so now you have an insight of what we do today at PMU. I would like to start this presentation first putting into perspective the reality of the horse racing betting market today. So we know today that the gaming and gambling industry reached last year, in 2015, 350 billion euros, approximately 382 billion US dollars, being cautious with the rate effects exchange, but so it's today we're fourth. Betting is fourth in terms of share in the gaming industry. We have 14% after casinos, lotteries, gaming machine, and fourth is betting. In terms of, with respect with the horse racing industry, we have 6% of this global GGR, with 21 million being 23 billion US dollars. 15 countries today represent 90% of Wordwell handle, and over 3/4 of Wordwell bets are Paris Mutuel. So now if we take a look at France, and as you've seen on the video, since 1891, the French government committed to Paris Mutuel only. So horse racing betting funds today over 80% of the French equine sector, and well, through the PMU's net result that we give back to the French horse racing associations. So today, horse racing in France, it's an important and vivid sector and a great contributor as well to the rural development. Now, the challenges we face as betting operators, since we know that we have to keep Wordwell racing industries dynamic and strong. Why? Because we've seen that, we have facing a strong competition from other gaming and betting, such as sports betting. We know that also virtual games are here as well. So we need to get very strong and ensure the competitiveness of horse racing betting products, whether they're bets or the races as well. To compete against these products. And as well, we've seen that it's pretty much a concentrated market. So we need to address markets that are not familiar with the racing if we want to counterbalance these offers, which can be legal, but also illegal. So this is as well a challenge for us. So basically, we need to all work together to maintain a sustainable horse racing industry. Now, if we go to the principle of international common pool betting, so how do we commingle? Basically, we need multiple operators offer their customers the same races and bet types with common betting regulation. So basically, the tote operator, being the host, you can call it as well, will be taking the bets registered by the operator who collects in his respective betting channels, retail, online. The host operator totalize these bets and send back to the operators the same dividend. It's a common dividend, and as well gives back the winnings, and it gives the share of winnings and the takeouts to B2B operators. What do we do to be an attractive host operator? There are several requirements to take into consideration. First of all, regulatory and tax compliance. Since you want to partner internationally, there are different jurisdictions. So operators have to check their domestic legal framework to ensure that foreign racing is possible and feasible, that the principle of commingling as well is feasible, and you might want to know what you will get in terms of tax as well. You also need a reliable betting technology to process these transactions and a common IT protocol system. The betting experience, well, we know that commingling today brings a more consistent betting opportunity for the punters, and we need this. We need to have consistent racing, because otherwise we know that the punters will switch to the other offers. So it's very important to keep horse racing opportunities very, very consistent. There's also new products coming up to the market with the commingling. So they have, these betting products have to be diversified and tailored, obviously, to the domestic market in terms of punters' profile and as well punters' budgets. And there must be as well high opportunities for the operators to offer their customers big payoffs and obviously a good profitability for the operator. Commingling also helps sharing best practices amongst operators to ensure that the product offering is tailored in terms of information feeds and in terms of racing pictures as well. And obviously, you need to also help in marketing the product and show and explain the differences and the specificities of the product, whether they are races and betting. Now let's go to PMU very quickly. Key facts in 2016 regarding our domestic market. So we generated last year 9,738,000,000 euros, which is pretty much 10.6 billion US dollars. Well, these figures include the stakes we registered internationally, as well as the stakes that we register with the 3 forms of betting for which we're licensed on our domestic market. So you have the breakdown on the right. I'm not going to go into details. Number one, we are also the #1 betting site in France. We distribute our product throughout over 13,000 retailers. And domestically, we have 2 TV channels, as you could see, Equidia Live for all the races, and Equidia Live, which shows and depicts all the racing industry. And for the partners, for our business partners who commingle with us or not, or who work in separate pool, we give them the Equidia Pro signal. Now let's go to the French racing offer. So the French racing offer presents many assets. We have 3 racing disciplines, being flat, jumps, and trotting. We organized last year over 18,000 races. We race every day of the year, even Christmas and New Year's. And we have also a very competitive field size. So if we take an average between what we have between trotting and gallop, it's about 12.3 runners per race. And in terms of quality of the races, well, we have quite an interesting prize money. Given the number of races we organize a year, we have an important prize money on average of 23,000 euros per race. And we organize over 400 group races. With respect to our international betting offer, we distributed internationally last year over almost 13,000 races, which is, as I was saying, about 46 races a day that are offered for betting, and it's a race every 15 minutes. And the time slot covered is pretty much 12-hour span, with starting 11 a.m. and it can go until 11 p.m. The bet range, as you saw, 14 betting options. So we have obviously the classic bets from 1 to 3 runners, and we have what we call more exotic products, which gives the opportunity for punters for really big payoffs. And we have jackpots associated to one of our products, which is a daily 1 million euro offered to punters to be won on the Quintet Plus race. And it can go up to 10 million euros for specific events such as Prix de l'Arc de Triomphe. So now let's move to our international business. So with our partners, we import selected foreign races. So I said previously the benefit for PMU punters, but not only PMU punters, it's also the B2B commingling partners who can benefit of it, but obviously subject to the approval of the foreign race organizer. So they will benefit of an extended betting opportunity and racing opportunity. So last year in 2016, we brought over 3,700 races from 23 countries for a handle approximately 800 million euros, about 875 million US dollars. So here you got a map of PMU's international partners. So the red being our commingling partners, the yellow, the separate pool ones, and the striped ones are business models where we operate both. And to finish, after 30 years, we've been operating internationally and having signed our first agreement. We are proud to say that today we are we're ranked #1 horse racing mutual betting operator in Europe, and we're #3 globally. In terms of exporting French racing, we have been mandated by the French horse racing associations to offer the French racing pictures, the French racing data, and as well access to our betting pool. In terms of B2B partnerships, we partner, as you saw on the video, with 67 partners worldwide, and we operate in 48 countries. Last year, we reached a total of 1,042 million euros on our international activity. And as you know, more recently, we have started operating B2C activities with today 4 PMU subsidiaries. And well, now to review this activity of our newest global subsidiary, let me present you Beatriz Fonseca, who will speak about our latest subsidiary, PMU Brazil.
Ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. I will give you an overview of PMU Brazil's history, achievements since our year and a half of operation. PMU Brazil is 100% owned by PMU France. It was established in December 2015 by means of a partnership with Jockey Club Brasileiro, who manages 65% of Brazilian horse racing. JCB is the most important player in our country, and we are glad to be its main partner. These partnerships involve the management of Brazilian bets. PMU is also responsible for the totalization of bets at JCB, as well as the live broadcasting of racings and the distribution network. After the first year, we could see interesting results, offsetting a negative trend in Brazilian market. Thanks to PMU Brazil, JCB was able to increase in 30% the prize money and generate a $65 million turnover, which means a 2.2% increment when compared to 2015. Our main objective in Brazil is to create a virtuous development cycle of the equine industry. This cycle begins by establishing PMU Brazil as a reliable company and as an authority in betting management. We take care of institutional image and communication. Then it's possible to create customer loyalty and expand our bases by developing our channels. We also have promotional partnerships, and these elements combined increase the handle. This handle is reverted into job creation and increase the prize money. In the end, by developing Brazilian horse racing, PMU becomes a key partner of national and international horse races. We can improve Brazilian racing infrastructure and develop turf as a sport. Therefore, our partnerships generate a greater income for racing. So to make this possible, we sustain our operation through channels. Our POS outlets, we have 101 POS, 73 only in Rio de Janeiro and 28 in other states. Our website is an important platform, and we increased in 29% turnover in 2015-16. Teleturf is our call center for VIP players, and we are launching a new loyalty program. And our TV Turf broadcasts live national and international races from many countries. Here's just to give you an overview of our POS density. We are present in 11 states plus the Federal District, and we're based on the southeast of Brazil. We launched our new website this year, this January, with the objective to optimize our experience following PMU France steps. We offer a very dynamic website where the punters can have betting tutorials, and they can easily see the racing planning. Our TV offers a new experience for punters. We promote special shows, promotional videos. We have races from 8 a.m. in the morning to 10 p.m., and we have a new layout will be launched on July later this year. Of course, all of this wouldn't be possible without important partners in the national and international level. First partnership I want to highlight is our partnership with LARC, where we were able to offer Chilean and Peruvian races for our punters, who are already very familiar with these races. On December 2015, we launched Common Pool with PMU France, and now punters could bet on races from Europe, Asia, and Dubai, and enjoy the Cante. And finally, our last achievement was launching the American Common Pool this year. The American races were already offered in separate pools since February 2016, but since April, our punters could bet on special pools and enjoy races from Belmont, Gulfstream, and Santa Anita with stable odds. As you can see, we are a new company that still has a lot of challenges and opportunities ahead. Hope we can contribute more to Brazilian horse racing development, and so we can have more stories, interesting, successful stories to tell you in the near future. Thank you.
Madam Beatriz, thank you so much for updating us in PMU, French, and Brazil. Now we turn our focus to South America. The 4 panelists who are able to elaborate on both present issue and the potential opportunity that lay ahead. Our moderator for this view from South America appears to also be one of the organizers of the Pan American Conference, Men with Passion for Horse, Horacio Espósito.
Thank you very much for the introduction.
¿Cómo está?
After that, I don't know if I can speak. Good afternoon, everybody. Before introducing our distinguished panelists, I would like to share some reflections on the horse racing industry in South America, taking into account its most representative countries. The first reflection relates to breeding activity and the number of foals. During the past few years, the number of foals in Brazil has suffered a dramatic decrease, mainly a consequence of strong political and economic factors that have forced breeders to sell both large and small breeding farms. In addition to the lack of incentives from the state for breeders, we must not forget to mention that one of the major racetracks in Brazil, Jockey Club of São Paulo, also entered a period of crisis, and the prices offered were no longer competitive for participants. From 2014 to 2016, Brazil has seen a 31% decrease in the number of foals. 2 years ago, we said Brazil is in red alert. I don't know which is the word we can use right now regarding the breeding process. Argentina, the leading producer in South America, has also been suffering from the same phenomenon. First, we must remember that for over a decade, poor economic policies by the government have affected the country's inflation rate, creating different currency exchange, barriers to global trade, and institutional corruption, which has led to a loss of interest from international markets. Therefore, Argentinian breeders, with a sense of the current economic reality, adapted to these market forces. From 2015 to 2016, the foals decreased 8%. This trend, however, did not happen in countries such as Peru and Chile, who maintain their historical foals figures. In the case of Chile, some of the top breeders not only keep their breeding farms, but also invest large sums of money in USA, purchasing land and bloodstock of exporting mare for breeding. A second reflection I would like to address is weight sharing. This is another sensitive and critical issue for the entire region. The South American continent is very far apart in terms of betting turnover from its counterparts in the US, Canada, UK, France, Hong Kong, Japan, Australia, just to mention a few. It seems as we have strayed, frozen in time, and we have settled for this reality. From Mexico to Argentina, Latin America represents less than 1% of the world's betting turnover. South America does not have large betting pools, and our retention rates are very high. Without bets, there are no prizes. And without a healthy relationship between wagering and purse money, it is nearly impossible for our industry to develop and grow. It is my observation that there is a lack of consensus between our region to organize South American racing among the various countries with an aim to make racing more attractive for owners and for bettors. We must find together the way to create a regional racing calendar that allows the best horses to compete among themselves for increased purse money and specific owner incentives. Currently, there are only 2 races that we can say has true regional participation, the Gran Premio Carlos Pellegrini and the Longines Gran Premio Latinoamericano. Surely, if we accomplish a regional racing calendar, we will then have an even more attractive product to draw attention of companies to enter into sponsorships and partnerships. All of these measures will raise the profile of the South American region, increase the participation of horses to race outside their home countries, and to eventually compete more frequently in other parts of the world. Turning to simulcast and integrity, our races are being broadcasted outside the region, but only approximately the past 10 years. And now, slowly, South American race courses, except for Argentina, have reciprocity with those other tracks broadcasting their races. I hope that in the future we will see advancement in the sharing of signals across Latin America and the world. In today's globalized and connected world, where horse racing is under increasing scrutiny by the general public, government officials, and our customers, integrity is essential. I reference this to address the matter of illegal gambling on our sport. This issue carries a strong concern in all markets, including South America. There is a dire need to research such activity and to establish relationships with governments and private entities to combat illegal wagering. Racing must also be diligent and enter into partnership agreements with companies that act transparently and carry the adequate control in order to avoid money laundering. I would like to spend a few moments to discuss business models. We have a good sample that is Chile. Without, they have genuine income derived from betting, good commercial management, and generate other income that allow them to reach a surplus or break-even in their finance. This allows them to invest in technology and modernize their facilities without depending on government subsidies, as is the case in other countries. I'm in favor of subsidies from the state or grants from casinos, so long as that money is invested into growing the racing, breeding, wagering product, and the promotion of this sport. But, and it's a very important but, racetracks must not forget that even though their main economic activity may be the casinos, horse racing must remain a priority. If it becomes a secondary activity, our industry will perish. If our decision makers are complacent and do not take these current subsidies to generate genuine revenue for racing in the future, when these grants may be available, our prospects in South America will be bleak. I might add that if some of those in charge were to own race horses to experience the passion of racing for themselves, they will surely be positioned to make better decisions. Last of all, I would like to address the matter of doping. South America has had progress, and we have had setbacks. But we continue moving forward in the same direction. Those who do not live in our region must understand that the different countries have their own idiosyncrasies, cultures, and problems, which make it difficult to work towards harmonization. I will not expand much on this particular issue, as Mayra Federico will give a clear presentation about this topic later today. But I would like to ask something of IFHA Chairman, Mr. Romanet. Luis, we have been discussing for some time now the project of having a laboratory reference by IFHA. And after many meetings, it has been decided to centralize all efforts at the Argentinian Jockey Club laboratory at San Isidro Racecourse. As you know, we are making and will continue to make all the effort needed to achieve such support. But we need your support to give them all the utmost support in order to move forward with it. Some of the region racetracks are already sending their sample from black tie races to France and the US. But this is not a permanent solution for us. It is just temporary. We have inconvenience with this process, but I can assure you, Mr. Romanet, that if we achieve this, along with the progress already made and will continue to make, our battle against doping will be won. And with that, I would like to introduce our illustrious panel, who are leaders in our region and some of the best minds in our sport. Hernán Seriani Cernadas, the Sir. He's the owner of La Quebrada, one of the most traditional farms in Argentina. You have the biography, but just I want to for sure, he's managing his farm, involving his mother and his sister, Marinette, that must be somewhere here, there, in the first seat. Hernán, in the last Latin America in March in Chile, received an award from Longines with her sister. It was the first Longines Award, family award, that for South America really was important, and it was not honored just for them. I think it was for the whole breeding industry. He was 10 times Breeder of the Year in Argentina. He won more than 300 stakes, 124, 25 grade ones. Just I don't have, he's in the board of the Breeders' Cup. I can be speaking about La Quebrada and the family for a long time, so thank you very much. Carlos Rossi. Carlos Rossi, you know, he was speaking in one of our panels today. They present himself, but I need to say, He's not just the president of Valparaiso Sporting Club, he's the president of OSAF. He has two chapeaus, different chapeaus. One is supporting his racetrack and the Chilean racing industry, but he has the duty to support and to do whatever needs to do to have a better future for the racing industry in South America. Guillermo Lieberman, who is my partner, is my friend, and is my boss. Yeah, so it's a He's the CEO of his own family company and has diversified business, coming from pork to produce fresh flowers in Africa, hospitality, that means hotels. So there are many business, but he's today here because he's a person belong from the racing industry. He has a farm. He has a thoroughbred breeding farms, and I think it's very important for some people to listen his voice. Thank you very much, and I will leave with Hernan, who will start his presentation. Thank you.
Well, good afternoon. This is for the, okay. Moving forward, that is what I'm going to talk about. After the last 10 years, we have witnessed a significant decrease in the number of thoroughbred born worldwide. This reduction in the fall crops is due mainly to change in the global economy. The USA, which is the most important thoroughbred breeder in terms of production, thoroughbred production has been shrink for more than a decade, with its sharpest cut coming after the economic crash of 2008. Between 2003 and 2016, there was a 34% decrease in the North American fall crop. This downward trend started to stabilize in 2014. During the same period of time, Australia, the second largest breeder nation, saw its production decrease 28%, and Ireland, in the same period of time, dropped the 17%. Within this context, both the American and the Australian breeding industries have maintained their position in global breeders' rankings, while Ireland moved down from the 3rd to the 4th place in 2010. While the rest of the world was reducing their bloodstock, Argentina took advantage of the opportunity to access greater than usual volumes of Northern Hemisphere genetics by importing broodmares and stallions. Argentina reached peak production in 2011 with a 35% increase and held 3rd place in global production until 2014. At the present, our country is the 4th largest producer, since Ireland has recovered 3rd place and Japan has risen to 5th, following a slow but steady decline of falls which started in 2007. It's not easy to walk and at the present, our country is the 4th largest producer, since Ireland. No. At the present, sorry, I messed it here. We are. What it's worth noting, from the perspective of the industry is that decreased foal production in leading breeding nations has not had a negative impact on thoroughbred racetracks. The number of races held at major racecourses worldwide and remain stable. Public interest and demand for thoroughbred racing remain stable and strong, which are key factors of the main driving force behind the horse racing industry. Since 2015, Argentina has started to gradually depart from its growth curve. This was due to a lack of synergy with the commercial area as well as decreased international investment. Export did not keep pace with the growth in production levels. In fact, export declined since 2008, and import numbers surpassed exports. In circumstances such as this, adapting to changes and staying up to date is always a challenge, especially in the case of thoroughbred breeding, an activity in which human labor and skills are irreplaceable, and the aim of any change should always be to search the greater quality and efficiency. Argentina is actively involved in all the major international horse racing and thoroughbred breeding associations, as has been evidenced by the role we play in institutions such as IFA, the International Catalogue Standard, and OSAF. We have earned access to these organizations thanks to the quality of Argentina production, maintained through the passing of time. However, we must become more actively involved in the global market. Our country and the region as a whole needs to achieve greater agility and trade exchange. Our thoroughbred breeding is based on access to the top bloodlines of the world, with the added value of our fields, our highly skilled laborers, and the high level of our competitions. Most importantly, Argentine breeders have differentiated themselves as outstanding genetic developers, which is our most important value added as breeders of purebred horses. Therefore, industry figures should not cause for concern, but rather they should act as an incentive for us to act accordingly to fulfill global demands. As I mentioned earlier, racecourses continues to have the same level of demand and in some cases even greater interest in what they offer. This forces us as breeders to become more efficient and to try to get as many thoroughbreds to compete on the racetracks as possible. Performance of Argentinian horses aboard is the best indication that work done at our breeding establishment is paired with global standards, with qualified personnel and advanced technology in every sense. Argentine Élevage has all the necessary elements to partake in the worldwide trend of improving the evolution of the breed. Our annual production is more than sufficient to supply domestic racing activity at both central and provincial racetracks. As long as international markets reactivate and continues to appreciate the quality of Argentinian thoroughbreds, there will be greater export opportunity for us. Each and every decision taken in the industry in order to manage these profound changes that are taking place must be generated toward generating an increase in export levels. In addition, if an additional purse money system keeps up with the cost increased by those who invest in racehorses is adopted to our local racetracks, then the domestic market will also benefit. This will enable us to be more efficient in the optimization of genetic, human, and natural resources, to develop better products, and to participate more actively in the global markets. Thank you.
Carlos. Gracias. Thank you, Horacio, for the introduction, and good afternoon for all of you. Then I'm going to speak about OSAF. Who is OSAF? And I am to comment 3 issues, and I will address in this presentation. The institution, our most recent achievements, and our upcoming challenges. Talking about the institution, I can tell you that OSAF have 11 countries in his organization. There are different institutions from each countries, and some of our members are Argentina, Brazil, Chile, Peru, Uruguay, Panama, Mexico. Then we have an structure, and the current composition of the OSAF board are in the screen. We have, as I say, 11 active members, and all of that members have right to vote and are represented by them. Our regions in figures, some figures of our regions. Only in Latin America, 50,000 Zork brothers are born and registered in the stud book each year. This position as one of the major worldwide breeding regions. And our member countries' racetracks stage over 20,000 official races yearly. Who are our most recent achievements? South America is lined with a zero-tolerance policy in doping control. Thoroughbred ratings and pattern race quality control system work in our region about 2 years ago in optimally conditions. And in 2016, South America included 22 horses in the Longines World Ranking publication. Another achievement was the harmonization of rules, penalties in positive doping findings, a wide acceptance of a reciprocity of penalization, the movement of high-heeled health performance horses within the region has been especially facilitated in the staging of Longines Gran Premio Latinoamericano. And the Longines Gran Premio Latinoamericano is an open race as from 2016 edition. We have two strong support for the continuous learning and training of our technicians. For instance, Dr. Teresita San Bruno go to the University of Glasgow in UK and to the University of California at Davis, USA. And Dr. Patricia Porto works to certificate San Isidro Laboratory in the Laboratoire des Cours Hippiques in Paris. And finally, OSAF has changed its presence in all activities fostered by IFA and outside our regions. Then, who are our upcoming challenges? Then we have a lot of challenges, but the principles are a larger global scope to the exchange of horses from north to south, and not just from south to north. Greater exchange within the region, more organization, ratings, race days rules, more professionalism and competition, more integration with IFA strategic lines. Part 2 countries must comply with protocol established by IFA, more integration within their communities, more transparent and reliable. Here is a very important issue. We don't have doubt as regards the goal, zero tolerance. We are working so hard to get that goal. OSAF has made a commitment to achieve this objective, and the countries who participate in OSAF are working hard to take it. And OSAF, looking these challenges, supports the laboratory at San Isidro Racecourse to achieve international certification. Horacio talked about it in his presentation. More transparent and reliable, there is no turning back, nor the choice to move forward at a slow pace. Progress must be solidly, comprehensively, and rapidly as possible. OSAF has recommended that starting in 2017, all the samples from black types races be tested by laboratory certified by IFA. We envision a similar path of success with regards to the regional harmonization of doping policies in accord with international standards and the accreditation of the testing laboratory within our region. This is OSAF. These are our main target issues. This is our reason of being, our challenges, our achievements, our future. Thank you for your attention.
Good afternoon. ¿Qué es esto? My name is Guillermo Lieberman. I am here as a breeder with De La Pom in Argentina and also as president of LARC. My involvement in the sport started at a very early age, going with my father to see some of his thoroughbreds at the races. I acquired a taste for betting on the horses as well. Then he acquired the Aras de La Pom in Argentina. We moved on to buy mares locally, as well as in Ocala at first, and then in Kentucky, mainly at the November sales in Kinland. Then we were, one thing leading to the other, involved in the reopening of the Maroñas racetrack in Uruguay with Horacio and his team. And then Pablo and Horacio came up with the idea to develop LARC, and I'm very happy with their accomplishments of these past 10 years. In Argentina, we have a tradition of very good breeders and a legacy of good genetic pool. The effort of acquiring mares and stallions, or shuttling stallions, has been conditioned to the fluctuation of the economy or to the impetus of new well-to-do breeders. We have 3 main racetracks with a meeting per day year-round in one of them. We have good vets, good farm and track grooms. We have good trainers, good jockeys, and good overall climate conditions to breed horses. The journalists who cover this sport are faced with the challenge of much reduced resources, like traditional media's lack of interest in covering this sport. They are allocating less and less space to it. More information, more public exposure, and more transparency of developments in the sport and at the track result in more betting. If we could come up with $1 million purse, then we will move from the rear side of the newspaper to the front page. We know that main events can draw big interest as well as large crowds. We also know that if we put together a circuit of big races with big purses, we will generate interest and expectations from horse owners and fans in South America. Also, if we work in coordination with the jockey clubs in Brazil, the racetracks in Argentina, Chile, Uruguay, Peru, we can come up with a product that will be of interest for important sponsors. In Argentina and Brazil, different parts of the business are separated: breeders' associations, owners' associations, racetracks, the unions. As a whole, the thoroughbred racing industry in Argentina has not been successful in promoting its agenda. South America represents about 17% of world's registered foals, about 16% of the races, and less than 1% of the wagering. Argentina, with 44 million inhabitants, has a betting of $183 million in racing, which is about $4 per capita per year. Uruguay has about $10 per capita between the local product and the simulcast. And Argentina and Uruguay both distribute about $8,000 per year in purse monies per registered foal. I was listening yesterday to the presentation of the gentleman from South Korea, showing that already in South Korea, more than $100,000 are being distributed in purse monies per year per registered foal. Chile has a betting of $272 million, about $16 per capita. Brazil has very little, $1. USA, about $35. Chile distributes $18,000 in purses per foal per year, and all of it is derived from horse betting. 80% of purse monies today in Argentina are coming from slot machines or from state subsidies. I remember from the last Pan American Conference in New York, Mr. Stronach and his teammates, his team, stated a message that his key managers must own a racehorse. The conclusion I recall from their presentation was that owners/managers who are not committed to the sport are not good for the sport. If your commitment is only towards making money with slot machines, you don't focus on the development of the sport and the fan base. In the region in general, but speaking about Argentina in particular, in spite of the 7,000 plus registered foals per year, we have failed to create real partnerships with sponsors. I'm talking about real partnerships. And we have failed to develop a sponsor-led regional stakes circuit. I want to finish with a positive note, though. given that all stakeholders have come to realize that only by working together we can accomplish something of significance. Thank you.
Thank you very much. For the next section of our discussion, our panelists may reply in Spanish. So I welcome you to use the translator headsets in order to gain the full understanding of their remarks. So let's start this ping pong, and I hope I will be your friend after the conversation. Carlos, we were speaking about revenues, and including Chile also. If we compare, it's wage sharing, okay? No revenues, not just wage sharing. If we, inclusive Chile, that is the one who is leading in wage sharing in the region, clearly. When you compare what is happening in another parts of the world, we see that we are in a very delicate situation, mainly because wage sharing means prize money, purse money. So, which is your opinion about what can happen in your country in the next 5-10 years? And which is your opinion about the region in general regarding wage sharing?
Well, Horacio, it's a very big question. Yeah? If we think about the future and look what happened with the bets in the past and look to the future, we see that our market was in the top. That is my view. Then, if we want to increase our bettings, if we want to grow our industry, the only solution is go to the international markets, make the commingling, because our population and our bet per capita, I think it's in the top level. Then our strategy is how can we do to go out with best product, best image, good data, and take the principal markets for export our signals. I think is now the focus and is now the solution for our reality in Chile.
In your country, you are not allowed to have commingle in Chile.
We don't have it, yeah. But we have that obligation now. I talked with some people who come from Chile about it. And we are working now in the zero tolerance policy. Then when we finish that, we're going to abort the modify of the law to put the commingling in our market, in our country. I think it's the future. The bets to your pool are affected positive, and if you can do it, you have a lot of advantage to increase your prize money.
Missing another issue, and this one is going to the other two gentlemen because they have another perspective from the breeding industry. Today we watch some projects like the one in Woodwine, for example. everything is changing. Everything is in the direction from what we saw yesterday and today to create fidelity in customers. It's not just horse racing. It looks like projects, completely different ones.
Yeah.
Professionals, with, when I say professional, is professional management, yeah? And people who knows what to do. So, regarding Argentina, for example, or speaking, if you want to speak about the region also, which is your opinion? Because we don't want to go to the past, no? We want to go to the future, and to try to see if we have a green light in the future regarding wagering. Guillermo?
Well, you have some racetracks in South America that are sitting on very valuable land, and they may have to use, I'm talking, for example, Sao Paulo or San Isidro, may have to use resources that they can derive from this asset to get the resource, the money, to redefine the facilities, to adapt it to the modern segmentation.
Hernán?
No, I think there is moving forward. It's very, very important if we can adapt to the modern age. In Argentina, the way as we sell our show, it's very old-fashioned. No? We need to improve, to have new technology, and to have more income from betting. And I think it's improving the whole business of the thoroughbred horses, not only the racetracks. The racetrack is a part of the business. The breeders, we are another part of the business, but the main part is the people who goes to the races and bet. No?
Customers.
The customers, that who gives you the size of the business. And I think privately we are doing some changes to the future to improve. And I think now in Argentina, in the main racetracks, I think that we will see some. They're starting to grow in a new way to become the horse betting as a business by his own. No, I think that is the main thing.
Just an example that happened with me a couple of months ago, visiting a racetrack in Central America. Doesn't mind which one. I was in the track. It was weekend. They were, I don't know, 80 people. The facilities were horrible. It was a commitment with me, with another person that I needed to be. I really, the people, you need to be a hero to be in a place like this one, for example, for 7 races. So when we are in this conference, or we have the opportunity like us to travel and to go to another places, you see that we are behind many years, and the only way is to admit this, to go forward and to see the future. No? Regarding doping, and that's for Carlos, who is the president of OSAF, and you spoke about tolerance zero. That is what we want. So what happened in Chile in the last couple of months?
Yeah, I talk about it, Horacio, and in your other question. that in Chile we changed the laboratory in the correct direction, looking for the zero tolerance. Then when we do the change, the equipment and the technology of the new laboratory have it's in a high level than the other one. Then when we put in practice that, we take the laboratory take a lot of dopings, but we think that is the way. We need to pass that experience to learn about doping. But the Consejo Superior, who is the authority in Chile who take the decision about the penalties, don't go out of the road. They go through and have there are an agreement about the breeders, about the trainers, the racetracks, the jockeys, than the way is the correct way. We are working, we are looking to the future, and I think all of South America are working in the same direction. Argentina, Brazil, of course, Peru, Uruguay are working in that direction. Then I think it's a very huge challenge, and we are in OSAF with the commitment to arrive to the correct port.
May I add something?
Please.
I will
Please.
say in Spanish, sorry, but it's easy for me. El doping yo creo que siempre tiene que ser tolerancia cero, desde ya, lo que no significa que pueda haber ciertos medicamentos que estén autorizados. O sea, el doping va a ser siempre tolerancia cero, con las excepciones que el reglamento determine. Creo que quería dejar esa salvedad. Que haya excepciones no significa, o sea, que puedas declarar un medicamento no significa que la tolerancia no sea cero. Siempre es tolerancia cero, y hay casos en los cuales se puede declarar alguna medicación.
Now in English. So let's go to speak more directly about furosemida.
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 Furosemida, yeah? Or anabolic steroids.
Easy question, ¿no? Creo que, bueno, anabólicos, está claro que en todo el mundo hay que dejarlos de usar, y en LASIX hay muchas tendencias en el mundo, yo creo que todo lo que beneficia al caballo y se lo puede ayudar en beneficio tiene que estar reglamentado, y yo soy, para ciertos casos, soy pro LASIK.
But I understand that in Argentina it's not allowed in black types.
It's not allowed in black types.
It's allowed,
But
it's allowed
still,
in 2 years old.
Yes, but the main question, why the bleeders still running in the stakes, and they are not using LASIX, but they are using other treatments that they are allowed? Or why in Europe they train with LASIX and they don't run in LASIX? So we can be a whole day talking about that.
Carlos?
Aprovechémonos que habló en español, Hernán. Sí,
Spanglish.
bueno, Spanglish, no, pero porque es un tema muy relevante y evidentemente que como dice Hernán, a ver, sí, es cosa de mirar el resto de los deportes, ¿cierto? En todos los deportes que son de público conocimiento, o el atletismo, o el tenis, el doping es controlado y sancionado. Y yo concuerdo con Hernán en el sentido que un caballo puede tener una lesión y por lo tanto se le pueden suministrar medicamentos, como ocurre con el ser humano, digamos, entonces es lógico. El tema es que no corra con esa ayuda, porque al correr con esa ayuda sin el conocimiento del público se traiciona la fe pública. Los caballos corren por dinero. El jinete obtiene dinero, el preparador obtiene dinero, el propietario obtiene dinero, de manera que no parece justo, ¿cierto?, que además alguien apueste sobre esos caballos y no sepa que ese caballo tiene una ventaja producto de la medicamentación. De manera que yo creo que el tema pasa por eso, ¿cierto?, porque efectivamente todos corran en igualdad de condiciones. Y el que tiene problemas de salud, por así decirlo, bueno, reciba su medicamentación y espere el tiempo que deba esperar para que en las condiciones que corresponda pueda correr. Yo creo que ese es el punto, ¿cierto? Y si eventualmente, como dice Hernán, hay medicamentos autorizados, la gente sepa que ese caballo está con esos medicamentos autorizados, de forma de ser absolutamente transparente con quienes son nuestros clientes, que son el principal activo.
Guillermo, what do you think?
I'm all for medication free, for the enhancement of the breed. And if you look at the jurisdictions with the heaviest betting, this is the rule that applies. And we are talking about our concern to increase the betting. So if that's conducive to more betting, I am also for it because of that.
Just subject, because we need to go for the questions for the audience. And it's a very philosophical one. Needs to be to, if we can or not create a regional, to have a way to have 3-4 races, yeah, in the region to move our horses with good purse money. When I say good, is good one, like the Latinoamericano, to try to achieve this goal. Incentive the owners, yes, it's like to have a calendar. I know that for this we need to be seated the whole industry. The whole industry means two people from each country, and to work as a team. I don't know. I want to know just if feasible, because if we cannot create races with big purses, how you see the future of this? That's for, I don't know, if someone wants to say something.
For sure, that is more than necessary, but the governments, they have to allow that, and I think that is a very good point to work between the racetracks of South America and OSAF to make the lobby necessary to can travel between each country in the same way as they do in Europe, no? In an easy way, faster way, and cheapest way. No? That is the main problem for us.
Hernan, you will have in the next days a sale, but it's a different sale than the ones you had the past years.
Yes.
Can you explain to us what you are going to do and why?
I'll go back to my Spanish.
Yeah, to Spanish.
Vamos a hacer una refundación del ARAS. El ARAS fue fundado en el año 45 por nuestro abuelo y ha tomado un volumen muy grande durante todos los años que mi padre lo ha desarrollado de manera extraordinaria, y hemos decidido adaptarnos a los tiempos modernos y a los ARAS más, como son los ARAS más tradicionales en Europa y en Estados Unidos. Nosotros apuntamos a tener un ARAS de 60 yeguas. Hoy tenemos un ARAS de más de 200. Y bueno, la forma de llegar a ese número es poder poner todas las yeguas en el sale. Y vos me podés preguntar cómo van a seguir si van todas las yeguas a venta. Bueno, todas las yeguas, el 80% de las yeguas representan solo a 7 familias. Hay 7 líneas que son las la columna vertebral de la grasa. Por lo cual, de las 200 yeguas que salen a venta, hay 60 que salen en couple, en yunta. Y el comprador va a poder elegir cuál de las dos se lleva y la otra queda. Entonces, de esa manera, más lo que tenemos en training, quedamos con las 60 yeguas, apostando a un manejo donde nos enfocamos más en los stallions, como dijo hoy Díaz Valdés cuando habló, y que eso, porque en la Argentina estamos ante una situación en donde los pequeños productores, que muchos de ellos crían muy bien, se les complica la comercialización. La comercialización no es fácil para los aras chicos en cuanto a cantidad. Entonces, creo que en el futuro, si todos somos pequeños productores, pero con grandes padrillos, vamos a poder abrir el juego para que todos juguemos en esto similarmente a como se hace acá en Estados Unidos, que el dueño del padrillo o el shareholder por ahí compra un potrillo criado por otro, más chico incluso que él, pero eso hoy en la Argentina no pasa y es un poco a lo que apuntamos a que pasa.
Thank you. I have a time before someone will kill me. 2 questions. So, someone wants to make a question? Is not okay. Yeah.
Gentlemen, I was wondering on the... sí, claro. De los países de los SAF, el cuestión de medicamento, ¿es una ley en todos los países o es una regla de los clubes?
In answer of your question, it's rules. There are rules. In Chile, we have a law. Yeah. In Argentina, a law too. In Brazil, Arthur, it's a law, I think, too. I think in all the countries there is a law. Horacio.
You have here your problem in U.S. is because you have a federal country and you have states. There is no law in South America. Every country has their own legislation, and some countries have exactly the same issues that they are federal countries. So it's not we don't have federal law. What OSAF can do it is exactly what IFHA can do it, is to suggest and to push strongly to try to have free medication. But this is resolved by the industry. In the case of Chile, it's by everybody's in the same sitting. It's a tribunal, and the president of the tribunal is a person. The one who decides who is the president of the country, for example. The racetracks they can push, but they don't have any decision about that. So it's not depending just of the Jockey Club. Most clear can be Uruguay, that the state is working together since many years with the racetracks, and it's a law. Yeah, it's a law, but not for the country, okay? It's a law for the main race courses, for the official ones. You have another ones that maybe they are not doing the same.
Carlos, hola Horacio, ¿cómo están? Quería compartir un poco lo que hemos visto el día de ayer y el día de hoy, esta presentación de esta autoridad coreana de carreras y también sobre la parte europea y la parte en Norteamérica. No mencionaron o no le dieron tanta relevancia a la crianza y el efecto de la crianza en las carreras. Lo que sí decían era cómo utilizar las instalaciones de hipódromos para convertirlos en sitios atractivos para que la gente vaya, juegue y disfrute. Y eso pasa por tener, además de las carreras, ser atractivos socialmente, ser atractivos en temas de restaurantes, ser atractivos para días de paseo para la gente en común. Y también nos han mostrado las instalaciones donde el público va a apuesta. La acabo de verlo, que es en PMU en Francia, y realmente los sitios son lindos. La potencialidad de Sudamérica, y es evidente, es la crianza. Tenemos el 20% de caballos de carrera del mundo, tenemos un porcentaje importante de carreras en el mundo también, y efectivamente hemos dicho que no tenemos el betting, que es lo que probablemente hace la diferencia entre nosotros y los demás. Dicho esto, creo que la reflexión que quería hacer es que de repente nosotros en Sudamérica tenemos que repensar nuestras instalaciones para hacerlas atractivas a un público más allá del que le gustan las carreras de caballos, y de esa manera tratar de masificar el espectáculo y a través de la masificación lograr el incremento del juego y la apuesta. Se los digo como una reflexión más que un tema de pregunta, y quería agradecerles por la oportunidad. Chao.
I think all of us, we think in the same way.
Yeah.
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 I think this was the last one, no? Yeah? Thank you very much. Thank you very much to listen to us. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's thank our estimated panelists once again. Les damos las gracias a nuestros 4 panelistas, Hernán, Carlos, Guillermo y Horacio. It's time for our afternoon coffee break and visit to the exhibited area. But before I release everyone for 20 minutes only, I'd like to remind you to visit the exhibited area and continue getting to know each and others. I would all join me in thanking our coffee break sponsor, Robert Communication. Back in 20 minutes. Regresamos en 20 minutos.